One morning, Genghis Khan went out hunting with his companions. His companions carried bows and arrows, whereas Genghis Khan carried his favorite falcon on his arm. He knew that his falcon was much better than any arrow because it could fly into the skies and see everything that a human being couldn't. Despite the group's enthusiastic efforts, that day they found nothing. Disappointed, Khan and his men returned to the encampment. Genghis Khan was frustrated because of this, and in order not to take out his frustration on his companions, he left the rest of the party at camp and rode out alone with his falcon. Genghis Khan went to the forest and stayed in the forest longer than expected, and because of this became tired and thirsty. It was summertime and all streams had dried up and he couldn't find anything to drink there. Just then, to his amazement, he saw a thread of water flowing from rocks in front of him. He removed his falcon from his arm and took out a silver cup that he always carried with him. Then slowly he filled it with water. Just as he was able to raise it to his lips, the falcon flew up and plucked the cup from his hands and dashed it onto the ground. Genghis Khan was thirsty, and this act of the falcon made him furious, but still, the falcon was his favorite, so he thought that it might be thirsty. That's why it did this. He picked up his cup again, cleaned of dirt, and filled it again. When the cup was only half filled, the falcon attacked again, spilling the water. Genghis Khan adored his bird, but he knew that he should not allow such disrespect, as someone might be watching this scene from afar and later would tell other warriors that great conqueror Genghis Khan was incapable of taming a mere bird. This time he drew his sword and then picked up the cup again and refilled it, keeping an eye on the stream and the other of the falcon. As soon as he had enough water in the cup and was ready to drink, the falcon again took flight and flew towards him, spilling the water. Then, with one thrust, Genghis Khan pierced the bird's breast. Meanwhile, the thread of water had already dried up. Genghis was thirsty, and in order to find water, he climbed the rock in search of a spring from which that thread of water was coming. To his surprise, there was a pool of water, and in the middle of it was lying dead one of the most poisonous snakes in that region. At that moment, he realized that if he had drunk that water, he would have died. Filled with remorse, Khan returned to camp with his dead falcon in his arms. He ordered a gold figurine of the bird to be made, to always remember the lesson from this incident. On one wing he had engraved, "Even when a friend does something you don't like, he continues to be your friend." On the other wing he had engraved, "Any action committed in anger is an action doomed to failure." So, one of the main lessons of the story is the importance of controlling your emotions, even in the moments of frustration or anger. Genghis Khan was thirsty and frustrated, and he allowed his emotion to cloud his judgment. He didn't recognize that his falcon was only trying to help him, and he did lash out in anger at the bird. Instead, he should have kept his emotions in check and remained calm, which would allow him to make a wiser decision regarding the falcon. The story also highlights the importance of loyalty and friendship. Despite the falcon's actions, it always had the best intentions in mind. This teaches us that true friends remain loyal even when they do something that we may not like. It is important to remember that loyalty and friendship are two-way streets, and that we should also be loyal and supportive of our friends even when things get tough. Another lesson from the story is the importance of careful decision making. Genghis Khan did jump to rash conclusions because of the fear of what others would think of him. He let his ego dictate. He didn't think that his falcon would have a selfless reason to not let him drink the water. This teaches us to think before we act and to never make decisions based on what others think of us. May you have a clear judgment in all your decisions. This is Inspired Data. Thank you for watching. If you want more life-changing lessons, share true stories, subscribe to this channel. You can also go and watch any of the other videos on this channel. And don't forget, you have the power to change your life.